When ordinary people do what they believe in and believe in what they do, they can create the extraordinary. We are ordinary people too. It's our belief in better that makes us rebel. Together, we can beat the ordinary.
Thanks for coming and choosing us. This tutorial I will try minimum to explain you what's the best way and easy way to compose your IELTS essays in a very coherent, simple and fast, of course, reaching up to 6 points. What I'm going to explain you can only reach up to 6 points, of course, as well as 9.2 if you wish. Well, firstly, last time we made IELTS writing workshop, which was based on line graph, and I explained all the details related to line graph. Today we will talk about chart to compare. Last time I tried to explain you what's the difference between line graph and the chart. Now I will again give a little reference for the line graph, difference between line graph and the chart to compare, and later we will continue. This is our given chart points, and each chart say will be units. It's called the units, right? These are the units, and these units written some 10, 20, blah 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 numbers you will see. Let's say up to 100, and below you will see some years. 2000, 2010, I don't know, 2011, 12, 13, 14. This year, okay? Chart is composed of two main features. First feature is unit, second feature is date, data, time. If you see data, time, it can be here months, September, October, November, till end, or the days of the weeks. Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. Whenever you see, if you see one below, one part of there, the time, second part of the units, it's line. Here we will talk about trends and movement. How trends moves. Trends just rises, trends drops, trends remain stable, trends fluctuates. It's about this. But today we will not talk about this. It's the line graph. Today we will talk about compare. Compare is different. Now I'm going to show you some different features. Alright, as we see that, for example, this is the line graph. Whatever the figures, nothing depends on it, because here we see that, for example, the months and units and some participants. These participants are in January, will be in February, and of course it is shown also March. And as you see that New Haven branch was in January, was in February, was in March. But what happened to New Haven branch? In 3 sequence months, it changed its figure or its rate according to the unit. We see that started under the 25,000. Later it dropped slightly to 2,000. And there was next month what? A very dramatic increase. Alright? If you just look at this red one in Brighton branch, well, it just started over 20,000 and there was, it dropped and then it, what significantly rocket, let's say, improved too much. So, what I talked when I explained this picture, only trend down, only trends up. Alright, because according to the time changes, our these trends, these participants, also they form it out, they change their forms, there were some changes. We cannot use any comparison here. Last time we trained about this and we talked how we can compose its introduction, overview and description too. And last time I explained to you that we can never use in description any comparisons. These trends are not different from this trend. this trend is only moved out in different shape, this trend moved out in different shape, and here the changes we see. Or let's look at this trend. It's the same thing, alright? This is the line. It's kind of this line, as you see. And this is the lines too. As we see that there are years and units, and our trends change it according to the years. For example, red one. Red one is Canada. Canada started declining slightly, then there was what? Considerable increase, and it dipped, let's say, very fast, very rapidly, and there was recovery later this year. And if you look at the blue color gradually increase, and next until the given period there was a constant gradual growth decrease. Or green color, it's not green color, little bit greenish color, let's say reddish color. This reddish color moved in different way, whatever it was high till the 1990. So we talked about this. Yes, please. It says that blue color is bars, green color is what? Crackers, and this color is snacks, and that color is cookies. This color is given in line shape, no matter how. This is not line graph. This is bar chart. This is chart compare. Alright? Because you see there is time. According to years or time, this shape changes. But there is no change. For 3 participants belongs to New York City. 3 participants belongs to Boston. 3 participants belongs to Los Angeles. 3 participants belongs to San Diego. This is different. There is no any changes. There is no year set. You cannot say that bar in 2004 changed in Boston, a little bit increased. We cannot talk about this because there is no year. Alright? This is the case. Here we have got different portions. But here we don't have any portions. We see that 3, this was like that, then decreases and increases. According to the time changed, time passed it, and they just changed it too. But here what changed? Nothing changed. In New York City, people are involved in 4 meal, bought or ate this 4 meal at this amount. In Boston, they ate this meal at this amount. In Los Angeles, they ate this meal at this amount. And San Diego, they ate very less. Okay? So, we are here, we will compare. The main issue is that we describe how trend moves in this case. We describe how our trends, how our participants are different from others. So we here compare. Now I will explain, show you another picture. Just look at the pictures, please. Here, can we tell that comparison?
No, it's lying.
No, it's line graph. Why? Because in Tunisia, only one. Tunisia 2007, it was high. 2008 came, Tunisia rate, GDP growth rate decreased. Then 2009 it decreased. 2010 it decreased too. Alright? In Japan it increased. In Ecuador it increased, and therefore sharp decrease and gradual increase. That's all. But here, what is it? It's chart compare. Let's not talk about bar chart. It can be table, it can be pie chart, different shapes. Each has got their names. But here, this is, we can compare. There is no year. Nothing changed. Boy, skate boys they are, alright, this blue are boy, white are girls. Okay. Boy used skateboard lower, and girl also used to skateboard lower. But what they used more, watching television and video games. So we compare that 3 participants used a skateboard and bike riding lower than watching television. They preferred to watch television more. You see, my vocabulary and my description here is very different. I use different expressions. I use that, I don't say that here watching television increases, decreases. I say that watching television is more popular than skateboarding. Okay, but here, if I look at this page, this one, course A, I will say that course A in 2001 to 2002 decreased, then increased, then increased. If I just look at this course B, I will tell what it increased considerably, it decreased considerably, and then there was gradual increase. You see, vocabulary is different. If I look at this one, I am not going to talk about the increase-decrease vocabulary, of course. There are male and female. They use the same and not different. Look, male also used full-time employment, and female also used full-time employment. Male also used employed, but female didn't use absolutely, or male didn't use, Then unemployed, both of them. So what way we can say? Both male and female are unemployed and retired are the same. Only male and female full-time employed lower than, and only female employed for part-time and for housewives. But male didn't get employed for this reason. Okay? We just only use these expressions. Here I cannot talk about, I cannot say about for male employed full-time, increase it to unemployed, then it stayed stable to retired. It is impossible to talk about this. Alright? These expressions are very different. Today we talk about only chart compare. Now let me explain what is the chart compare. Look, these all pictures are chart compare. We will talk about these pictures later. We will write essay for this. I will explain step by step how we compose our essay. But now let's look at this. It is similar to this. Alright. We understood that we will compose and focus on chart compare. Our vocabulary, everything includes what? Compare. Nothing rather than this. Alright. Let's see if we see what is the chart compare. Chart compare can be in. I don't have efficient, they don't give me no pictures. Let me see. Next different thing. Was picture we see male and female, for example. Alright. It seems previous picture too. When males and females, there is no time was there was actually time given. It says that between these years, 1998 and 1999, between 1 year it means, okay? Just it is 1 year, from 1998 to 1999. Employment rates it shows. Leisure time, no, it shows leisure time by male and females, how their employed status. Okay, no matter how what shows to us. As we see that, we must now differentiate what is our pictures, what are we going to compose. It is line graph or it is chart to compare. As we see that, this is here male and female. Both participants used are for employed full-time. Only one participant was employed part-time. Both participants were unemployed. Both participants are retired. And only one participant used for the housewives. Okay? So, we will compare these expressions. Nothing rather than this. Just very easy explanation I see. If we look at these pictures, what we see? We will see that exactly both males and females were higher rate at unemployed and retired. You see, this is the higher. But lower rate what? Employed for full-time. So, only females are employed part-time and for housewife reasons. Okay, this is our, let's say, overview. Here, you know, 85, last time I explained, 85% of candidates, IELTS takers, mistakes while they are composing their sentences. Most of, I can assure you, some 2 sentences or 3 sentences, they just write for increased and decreased vocabulary for the compare chart. They just use that. As they get retired, it increases the rate. No, nothing. or they can just use that. When they are employed, they became retired or something. No, nothing. We don't use any emotion. We don't use any kind of things. Just as we realize, we try to compose our sentences with compare. Step by step, I will explain you what's the compare. For example, now let's look at this one. I don't know what's given. In comparison bar chart, we will use these expressions. Sentence rules. First sentence rules is comparative adjective sentence. You know comparative adjective sentence. Nice, nicer, nicest. Popular, more popular, most popular. Alright? Famous, more famous, and the most famous. Our first expression sentence is simple comparative sentences. Alright? Superlative and comparative sentences. Why? Because you must know that most boys and girls use for hiking and tennis, skating, swimming, cycling, and football. But for boys and girls, for boys, cycling and football were more popular than hiking, tennis, and skating. For girls, also cycling and swimming were more popular activities than skating, hiking, tennis. Both boys and girls, we can compose that in a very good way. Skating, hiking, tennis were less popular than cycling and swimming. Football was very different for both participants, people say. Why? This is our interesting point. Because boys played or preferred to play football more than girls. You see, I use comparative adjective sentences. Or second kind of sentences is to be not as adjective as. What's to be not as adjective as? It's very easy. When we use this comparison, look, skating and let's use tennis. Yes? Here, skating is higher for girls, but here, tennis is higher for boys. What we will say? Skating is not as for girls. Let's use the for girls. Yes. Boys is lower. With the here is boys is higher. So we will say for boys, skating is not as popular as for girls. Do you understand? Footballs. You see, you can just find any kind of comparison and then you can use it for yourself. Alright? This is not as adjective as. Then we have got difficult type of sentences. Nowhere near as adjective as. As we say football, and let's compare football with tennis, we will see what we will tell. For boys, tennis is nowhere near as popular as football. Football nowhere near as nasıldır? Yakına gelmeyecek kadar. Yakınlaşa gelmeyecek kadar. Yani dedim ki tennis is nowhere near as popular as football for boys. Oğlanlar için tenis yakına gelmeyecek kadar futbol gibi meşhur değil. Mukayese edilmeyecek kadar meşhur değil. Yani bu alright? Not quite as adjective as we can use another. For example, we can use for girls skating and cycling. What we will say? Skating is not quite as popular as cycling for girls. Do you understand? Skating is not quite as popular as cycling for girls. That's all. And almost as. Let's look at football and tennis for girls. How we can say tennis is almost as popular as football for girls. Do you see tennis here and football here? It is almost same. So we will say tennis is almost as popular as football for girls. You see, we use these different kind of expressions. Next is whereas, while, as opposed to, and compared to. You are not allowed to use one sentence type more and more. You see, there are more options. One sentence you can use in your description as comparative. Then you can write not as adjective as. Next sentence you can compose nowhere near as adjective as. Next, not quite as. Next, almost possible if there is. And next, where, whereas, while, as opposed to, compared to. For example, let's see. It is almost 20, yes? And let me say, 20, it's 20 girls played tennis, whereas, how many girls there are? 55 girls went to swim. Next expression, let's use one. Let's say, cycling. How many cycling? 59, let's say. 59 male rode their bicycle, biraz da bunu değişikler. Cycling'lerin vezirisi. Rode their bicycle while how many it is? 23 male went for mountains for a camp. Hiking, gitmek lazım. Alright, we change it. Next one we can use as opposed to. How we can say opposed to? Yaxşı bir opposed olsun. Let's use football and tennis for the men. What we can say? 25, no, male, it is this one, yes? Yes, 25 boys went to tennis court to play, opposed to who? Burada opposite to'dan sonra, compare to'dan sonra bu sözünü işletmek lazım. Ya da both